Right guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today we're going to collect possibly the rarest car ever to feature on this channel. What I've bought is a 2006 Renault Vel Satis. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. Being French, it's probably something like... Shall I do the accent? I'll do the accent. Renault Vel Satis, but I don't know. Anyway, a Vel Satis is what it sounds like in Northern. I'm really excited about this. I've never owned one before. I've never been in one, I've never driven one, and that rarely happens. I buy and sell 500-600 cars a year, so it's really rare that I buy something nowadays that I've never had before. I honestly can't even remember the last time I saw one. They are that rare. I got an email from a viewer a couple of weeks ago asking if I wanted to buy this Vel Satis, and it belonged to his late grandfather. It's only done 57,000 miles, it's a 2006, it uses a 2.2 litre turbo diesel, and it's a manual. I instantly said yes, because, well, I think you'd do the same, wouldn't you? How could I turn down something as rare as this? I'd have done the same thing had it been a Citroën C6 or a Renault Aventime. They're just the quintessential French car. They're just weird. Price-wise, it was quite a difficult one to value. We agreed £2,000 for it in the end, which sounds like an awful lot of money for a 18-year-old French car, but for a Vel Satis that's as rare as this, I don't think that's too dear. The transport company that I always use went over to Yorkshire yesterday to collect it, and it's been delivered for me on my car park. So, although I've seen photographs of it, I haven't actually seen it in the flesh. Now, if you don't know anything about the Renault Vel Satis, then you really need to get out more, don't you? You loser. Allow me to furnish you with some information then. Now, this was Renault's idea of a luxury car. Can you believe that? It was available from 2002 until 2009, and roughly 6 people bought them. That's why they're so rare. It was a flop. In fact, listen to this. Renault reportedly lost 18,000 euros on every single Vel Satis they sold. That's good business, isn't it? Sounds like something I'd do. Now, even weirder still, you could have bought the Vel Satis with a 3.5 litre petrol V6, or a 3 litre turbo diesel, or a 2 litre diesel, or a 2.2. Now, the one I bought today is the 2.2, so it is quite sensible. In case you're wondering about the name, you might think that it's the name of some sort of French town or, French person, but it isn't. It's supposed to be a combination of the words velocity and satisfaction. How odd. Anyhow, as you can probably tell, I'm struggling to contain my excitement here. Eek, as they say in text. Let's go and have a look then, shall we? I'll see you there. Well, we're here. It's an ugly thing, that, isn't it? Very ugly, but I love it. How cool is that? I just can't remember the last time I saw one. You know, thinking about it, when I used to live in Spain, the Guardia Civil used to run them. Not all of them, but they would use the Vel Satis. Not really sure why. I suppose it probably makes quite a good traffic car, doesn't it? Big, spacious, and with a 3 litre diesel, quite torquey. It's in good condition, you know that, for a 2006 car. The plates are from Hampshire originally, but the plates actually say they're from Alton Cars Barnsley. Headlamps could do with a buff. Wow, it's ugly. It has got a face only its mother could love. Right, let's do a vehicle history check then, as always, using Car Vertical. That's really easy to use. All you do is go to carvertical.com and you just type in the VIN or the reg. Now in this case it is Hotel Kilo 06 Uniform Sierra Victor. Check vehicle. What this does is it checks databases in dozens of countries, 35 countries to be precise, and it'll tell us whether it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. It's really important that you do one of these checks before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorcycle. It can just prevent you buying a complete lemon. It only takes a couple of minutes, as you can see, and then it will furnish us with all the details. What's clever about this as well, if it has been involved in an accident or it's been for sale previously, sometimes it shows photographs of the accident damage or the listing when it was for sale. I can't think of a single other check that does that, so it is quite thorough. Oh, by the way, with my promo code, you used to get 10% off, now you get 20% off. So my promo code is HIGHPEAK, all one word, all lowercase, and you get 20% off each and every check that you do. Alternatively, click the link below in the video description. Right, and the report's ready. So, let's have a look then. That is a Renault Vel Satis diesel. It's never been clocked, there's no outstanding finance, it's never been damaged, and it's never been nicked. Perfect. The last known mileage, wow, this hasn't done many miles, has it? Since 2020, June 2020, it's done 1,500 miles. So in June 23, it done 57,597, and then 500 miles each year prior to that. It's fairly steady as well. That is very low mileage, isn't it, for a car of that age? It's a 2.2 diesel front wheel drive, 4-cylinder, 6-speed, 5-door. We've got the level of equipment there as well. Very good. So it was manufactured in 2005. It was first registered in June 2006. Then the ownership changed. Then it was inspected. Lots of inspections. Very good. It's had a plate change. That must have been when the previous owner had it then, because the plate's just been taken off. Very good. Right, we're all clear. Let's go and have a look around it then, shall we? I'm excited. Let's go and have a look then. So we've got only one key for now. It's quite a small key, that, you know. Not as big as like a equivalent Megane or a Spas or something. But I'm told there's a second one due any day in the post. I won't hold my breath, but I've got no reason to doubt it. It's not a bad colour actually, is it? Quite like that. I spotted a little bit of damage down here straight away. Someone's touched in there, but I can live with that. That isn't the end of the world on a car like this. Tyres then, what have we got? We've got a front two full run. Don't think I've heard of that before, but it's on about 6 mil, so that's pretty good. The rear discs look a little bit crusty, but it's been parked up for a couple of years, hasn't it? There's a little bit of rust there, there's a bit of snot there. That's weird because they're plastic doors. Look at that. We even got rear blinds like you get in a 7 Series. Like I said, this was Renault's idea of a luxury car. So, a bit bizarre, isn't it? Leave it to the French. This one is a Mazzini, sounds Italian. That's on about 4 or 5 mil, I suppose. That's pretty good. The wheels look okay, not too bad. Moving around front, this is where it gets even uglier. Look at that front grille. I think I'll buff the headlamps because they'll come up bright. We've got a matching Mazzini on this side. That's a result, isn't it? And then bodywork's all right on this side, that's fine. We've got a couple of stickers there. Angling Trust. Oh, another one there. Very good. Another blind in the rear window. And we've got a matching front two full run on this side. So, same on each axle. It's a result. They're not Michelin's or Pirelli's, but on an 18-year-old Renault, I'll take that. At least they've got plenty of tread. Let's stand on this little wall and get a proper view of it. It's actually, I don't think, too bad from the back, is it? In terms of styling. It's got that mid-2000s, you know, Renault bottom. It's got an Evans Holshaw plate on the back and then an odd one on the front, so I think I'll fully high peak autos it up. We've got rear parking sensors, that's a good sign. Right. Alright, locking works. How do I get in the boot? That one there. Look at this. Look at the size of the boot on that. The struts still work, that's good. Bit of an awkward shape that, isn't it? We've got a boot liner, which I always like to see. Someone's got a bit of pride. It's a nice clean car, this. Oh, there we go. Is that a soft closed boot that I just heard? It bloody is. What else do you want to see then? Should we look in the back? Bear in mind this is an executive car. Look at the legroom. I feel like Nicolas Sarkozy. Sarkozy? Honestly guys, look at the legroom though in this. I'm amazed. Down here we've got some vents and some heater controls. That's always quite good. In an exec car, we've got the blinds, as I mentioned previously. We've got a sunroof. Look at that. Very good. Got some controls here for the lights. Very nifty, isn't it? These seats are comfortable though. I'll tell you that for nothing. Down here we've got a nice armrest because you've got 3 seats here, bear in mind. But we've got a cup holder there for your Orangina. And some more storage. It's all nicely finished, this. We've got as well an ashtray, obviously because French. And the audio system is Cabas-tronic. I've never heard of that, but it must be a premium thing, I imagine. Look at the shape of the front seats as well. How odd. I'm a big fan of this already, can you tell? Moving to the front then. We've got a click and check strap, which is like any French car in the world. That wants tightening or replacing. Oh dear. Maybe replacing. We've got full leather interior then up front. It's all quite grubby, but it will clean. Will clean up this. Seatbelt sort of built into the seat as well, rather than on the B pillar. So we've got electric seats. That's maybe the engine needs to be on, or the ignition at least. They're heated as well. I think we'll leave that on because it's rather cold today. And then the rest is like a Renault Traffic or a Vauxhall Vivaro or something, or a Nissan Prima Star. Some more fun facts for you there. How many of these do you think work? My guess is 2. 2 or 3. Got some pop-out storage there, like an Audi A8. This is a cool thing, isn't it? I do really like this. Let's see what else we can find inside then. Now then, bear in mind I've never been in one of these in my life. That's fairly standard. Standard Renault gear lever, 6-speed. You put the key in there, which we shall do in a second. Pop that in there like so. There we go, and it's sprung into life.
I'm not, I'm going to say Mother's Day.
Turn off radio 2, can't be bothered with that. Now, that's obviously the radio. Here is somewhere for your sunglasses. Quite deep, that, actually. Right, so we've got climate controls down there, that's all fine. I'll knock this off before my battery gets drained. Down here then, what else have we got? Cruise control buttons, confusingly, the last place you look. An ashtray. Oh. That wasn't me, it was the armrest, honestly. And then down there, we've got a cradle for I don't know what. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. What? Why? Why would anyone think that's a good idea? Actually, I suppose it is a good idea. I'll take back everything I've just said. We'll pop this away though. Wonder what phone that was designed for. Some sort of Nokia, won't it? This era. Now we've got owner's manuals, the Vel Satis. Now, Renault service books are usually in the back of the owner's manual, aren't they? But this one isn't the case. Oh wait. Ah, that's a good sign. It's only had 2 owners from new. 1 former keeper. It's unusual, isn't it? According to its last MOT then, there were 2 advisory items. So headlamps, they need buffing, and tyre slightly damaged on the rear, right? Well, they look new. They're my full runs, aren't they? My 442, or whatever they're called. Anyway, right, service history then. Now we're talking. Plenty of stamps here. So it's been done at 21, 31, 39, 47. It was done there at 53 at Wayne's World. 56. So that was its last service. 56,000 miles in September 20. September 20, right. But it's only done 1,000 miles since. We've got another service book there as well, for some reason. It's weird, isn't it? That's the first one then. So the first one was done at 12, and then the rest are in that other book. Someone's obviously lost the book at some point, haven't they? Right, well this is quite good, isn't it? Should we have a look under the bonnet? Proper analogue clock as well, look at that. Oh, my heated seats on. Right, we'll turn that off before my battery runs flat. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, guys, but I'm half tempted just to keep it. Go to car shows with it, all that sort of stuff. I could have gone to Rustival, couldn't I, or Shedfest, which I assume is on again this year. I've already missed Rustival. I wanted to go, but couldn't go. Maybe next year. Where's the bonnet catch on one of these? Does anyone know? There we go. Even that's weird. Quite a long bonnet this, isn't it? Oof. That opened with gusto, didn't it? Someone's repaired the air conditioner at some point, had it regassed in 2019. That's a good sign. Some more stickers there. Now I think, I could be wrong, but I think this old 2.2 litre diesel engine, I think it's chain driven. I'll have to ask my mechanic. But if it is, then we've got no cam belt to do. That's a proper workout. Someone's put the wrong struts on this, I think. Forget the gym. I could just stand here all day with my Vel Satis. Should we take this for a drive then? Because I'm quite keen to see how this performs. Like I said, I've never even been in one before, let alone driven one. So I'm quite excited. Okay then, let's fire up the old Renault. There we go. Electronic parking brake. How do I... Is that how you release it? Oh, there we go. Well, it sounds quite sweet for a diesel. Driving position's good. You sit up high. Visibility's excellent. Let's get it on the road then. So it has done 57,739. We've got a flashing spanner light, which I think just means it's 4 years overdue a service. The clutch feels quite good. It's not too high like most French cars. Let's wait for my nice comfortable leather seat to warm up because it's quite cold today. Steering feels nice and light, it's not notchy. My locking wheel nuts rattling around in the glove box, but that's about it. The brakes feel a little bit juddery as I came to that junction then, as I came to a stop. Maybe they'll wear off with use, otherwise I'm into a few £100 to replace them. What I'm thinking straight away with this is, it's got a June MOT, so I think I'll run it to my mechanics, give it a full service, not just an oil change, a full service, because it's been 4 years. Get them to run it through a fresh MOT with no advisory items. And what else? Buff the headlamps, change the plates, give it a good valet. They're going to let me go? No. Nobody's got any patience. Including me, to be fair. Thank you. Let's see if she's a smoker then. No, it's all right. I was expecting a James Bond style smoke screen as soon as I floored it then. But we're all good. Our mirrors work. We didn't try the windows, did we? 1, 2, 3. A full house. What are the chances? This is quite a decent car then, isn't it? I really like this. Go on then, I'll let you cross. Shall I let you in on a bit of a secret? Many years ago when I was a kid, before my parents got into four-wheel drive cars and all that sort of stuff, we were quite a Renault family. My mum had a couple of 11s, I think she had a 20, a 21. My dad had a Renault 19 for a short period, which I quite liked. What else? My auntie had a Renault 5. We were quite a French family. That's why of all the French brands, I do quite like Renault. Anyway, I'm not revealing any more secrets. Pulls all right. I don't know what horsepower this will be. 120, I guess. It should be quite good on fuel as well, shouldn't it? Well, for £2,000, I'm very pleased with this. The thing is, as quirky as it is on the outside, inside it's a 2.2 litre diesel Renault with a 6-speed manual gearbox. It drives like anything else, really. That's not to say bad, you just expect it to be as quirky as the exterior is. The seats are nice and comfortable though, and, oh, they work, they do work. Oh, hang on a minute, hang on, I spoke too soon. Automatic parking brake faulty, and an amber warning light. So I shall get my mechanic to look at that as well. Again, it might just be because it's been sitting for a long time. So this has got like 8-way adjustable seats. I do feel like taking this on a road trip, and I don't know where. France would be the obvious answer, wouldn't it? Where should we go? I just think it'd be a nice, comfortable road trip car, don't you think? Cheap to run, nice and comfortable, and if I give it a full service, it might get me there and back. I think I'll do that, you know. Why not? Why not? I'm my own boss, I can go and do what I like. I think then for now, that's my road test over. So let me get it to my mechanics, get it up on the ramp, pray that it's all right, give it a full service, buff the lamps, all that sort of stuff, and then I shall have an update for you very soon. Hopefully it won't have cost me a fortune. I'm guessing maybe, shall I set a budget? I know whenever I set a budget I always blow it, but My luck's got to change sooner or later, hasn't it? If I set a budget of £500, I think that should be plenty. A full service will be £320 maybe. Buffing the headlamps I could do myself, but I might pay somebody £20 to do it because I'm busy. Sort the handbrake out, yeah, don't know. 500 quid, that sounds reasonable, doesn't it? Wish me luck. And we're back in the Renault Vel Satis, or the Vel Satis. Not quite sure how you pronounce it. It probably isn't that, but we'll go with it. We'll make it work. Anyway, it's all prepared now and ready to go to its new home. It's been quite a long process, this, to be honest. It wasn't initially. It all started out quite positive. Where should we start? Well, like any story, I suppose it's best to start at the beginning, isn't it? After we last spoke, I took this down to my mechanics and I asked for a full service, full engine service, and a clean MOT with no advisory items. I also asked them to look into that handbrake issue. Now, luckily, that was quite a simple fix. The handbrake module or something just needed reprogramming. So it all started out quite well. A couple of days later, my mechanic called me and said, right, that weird Renault you dropped off is all ready. We've done the full service, we've done the MOT. It's got 12 months MOT now with no advisory items. It was quite a clean car, really. Oh, and by the way, we've reprogrammed the handbrake module. Job done. So I thought, right, I've had a right result. Went and paid my bill and it was 300 and something pounds. So I thought, yeah, this'll do. I've still got some profit here. I didn't pick it up there and then. I picked up something else. And then later that day, I asked my brother to go back down to my mechanics and pick up this. I think at the time he was dropping off, it doesn't matter really, but I think he was dropping off his Evoque for something. He had an oil leak or something. I warned my brother that the Vel Satis was a bit weird. The handbrake, for example, takes a bit of getting used to. He hadn't even heard of a Vel Satis before, and he certainly wasn't excited. He wasn't as excited as I was, anyway. Anyway, he called me about 2 minutes later and he said, right, I'm in this Vel Satis, how do you start it? So I said, right, foot on the clutch, press the start button, and then away you go. And then it's just like any other regular car. And he was like, yeah, I've done that, but the clutch won't come back up. As soon as I press my foot on the clutch, it just sank to the floor and it won't come back up. Is there a certain way? He was like, I know you said it was weird, but surely it's not this weird. I was like, right, that doesn't sound normal, does it? So I jumped in my car and went down there, and sure enough, the clutch had completely collapsed. I told my mechanic about this and they said, right, we'll look into that then. It's just one of those things. Who's to know when your slave cylinder suddenly bursts? This is the thing with used cars, you just never know. Had I sold this to a customer and then it happened to them within like the first week, I'd have been a crook. And you can't predict these things, can you? Unfortunately, my mechanic's always busy and this wasn't priority. It hadn't sold or anything, I was just preparing it for sale. So it sat there for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks until they finally had time on the ramp to drag it back in and figure out what was wrong with it. I'll explain exactly what they did in a minute when I park up somewhere scenic and I talk you through my costs. But for now, what else did I do? I had the air conditioning regassed and it took the gas, so that was a result. I fitted some new reg plates. I say I had some new reg plates fitted. I didn't do them myself because I've been away. And that of course explains my slightly tanned appearance. Oh, and then I took it to Tameside Detailing for a full detailed clean. I think that was about it. So I'm now back in it and it drives particularly well and it's now fault free. So I got it back to work, I took some photographs of it in front of our signs and I've advertised it for £3,995, which I think is quite a fair price. I'm just slightly concerned though now because I don't think there's an awful lot of profit left. But, I shouldn't say this, but I'm not that bothered really on this occasion. I just wanted a Vel Satis. One, for a video, two, because well, they're weird, aren't they? And I quite like weird. I'm not sure who the demographic is here. I don't know who's going to buy this. It's a large, weird French car, but it's only done 57,000 miles. It's got a chain-driven diesel engine, it drives particularly well, and it's pretty good on fuel, and it's quite luxurious. Sort of typical French, really. There are various rattles and squeaks and all that sort of stuff. Everything you'd expect from a Renault. Look at that, bird of prey there. Right, well, here we'll do then. Just driven past my new bin that I'm convinced Stockport Council installed just for me. Handbrake. Voila, as they say in France. Now my bills for this are on my phone. So if you remember, I paid £2,000 for this car. £2,000. I'm just trying to think, it's so long ago this, and I bought a million cars since then. I think I had it transported. This is quite poor now. I should have listed this. I think I had it transported and I think it cost me should we put 150 in for transport? Can't quite remember. It'll be there or thereabouts. So 150 for transport. Then, right, here are my bills then. So my initial bill, which I was quite pleased about, was an MOT test fee, oil filter, oil, air filter, fuel filter, pollen filter, reprogram handbrake module, and labour. So my total was £342.88. 342.88. Add that in. Before I forget, we've got £15 for reg plates, we've got £70 for a valet. Then, of course, my luck ran out, didn't it? And I had to put a complete new clutch in it, which cost me £225.50, plus some gear oil at £38, plus labour at £400. Apparently, my mechanic tells me it was a pig of a job, and it was on the ramp for most of the day. So that came to £796.20. £796.20. This is what I thought. So, my grand total for this Renault Vel Satis, velocity and satisfaction, let's not forget the meaning, was, or is, £3,374.08. So if I can sell it for £4,000, 3,995, I will make a profit of around 625 quid before tax and VAT. So it isn't, well, I'm not going to get rich quick, am I? It's about, what's that? About 20%, isn't it? About 18% profit, which isn't bad, can't really complain, but not as great as I thought. You see, had the clutch not collapsed on me, I'd be now looking at a profit of 1,300 quid or 1,400 quid, so that'd be much more like it, wouldn't it? But you never know, the motor trade always throws up surprises, doesn't it? Part of the joys of it. That's why I just love it. Anyway, on that slightly sour note, it is weird, this. It is strange. Right, well, I think that's about it. So thank you once again for joining me on this little French tragedy. Make sure you follow me on TikTok, Twitter. I got the order wrong, haven't I? Facebook. Subscribe. Hit the bell. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Shouldn't go away. I've been away for 2 weeks and I've just lost touch with everything, really. Anyway, you know what to do. You've watched enough of these videos. See you in the next one. Au revoir. See ya.